A key border crossing between Iraq and Syria reopened on Monday, a move that signaled the growing normalization of ties between the neighboring states. The Qaim crossing is located in the western province of Anbar, 300 kilometers west of Baghdad. The town was recaptured from ISIS in November 2017 and was the insurgents' last bastion in Iraq to fall. The border was closed in 2012 shortly after Syria's civil war erupted. The border will be used for trade and commercial purposes as well as tourism. Iraq's border crossing chief, B.A.C, said. Last year, both Iraqi and Syrian foreign ministers said the reopening of the border was imminent. Security measures have been taken to ensure the safety of travelers and commercial goods, Mr. B.A.C said. The governor of Anbar, Ali al-Dulaimi, attended the opening ceremony and said the reopening of the border is a vital and important step for the exchange of trade and the strengthening of relations with neighboring Syria. There are fears that the move will enhance Iran's influence in the region by allowing militias aligned with Tehran that operate in Iraq to have easier access to eastern Syria. The warming of ties between Baghdad and Syrian President Bashar al-Assad goes back to when Iraq called for the reinstallation of Syria's membership in the Arab League earlier this year. Damascus was suspended from the League in 2011 over its crackdown on protesters at the start of the civil war. Iraq's Foreign Minister, Mohammed al-Hakim, called for an end to the Syrian crisis in January during a meeting with his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov in Moscow. The Qaim crossing borders the Syrian town of al-Bukamal, which was an ISIS stronghold. It lies on a strategic supply route and the crossing between them had only been open for government or military traffic. Although Iraq announced victory against ISIS in late 2017 after 3 years of a brutal fighting against the group, they continue to carry out sporadic attacks across the country. The insurgents' sleeper cells have continued to carry out hit-and-run attacks against government positions, particularly at checkpoints. In March this year, ISIS was ousted from its final territorial enclave in Syria, the hamlet known as Baghouz, prompting U.S. President Donald Trump to declare victory against the group and order the withdrawal of all American troops from Syria. Mr. Trump later walked back on his promise to withdraw from Syria, while ISIS militants have maintained their presence in both countries. Updated, September 30, 2019, 2:06 p.m. Let's block ads. Why?